Well, hello again, wrestling fans, and welcome to Nitromaniac TV's wrestling channel, and it's time for Nitro's take on the final SmackDown Live pay-per-view, the final split-brand pay-per-view before Wrestlemania in New Orleans, part 2. It is WWE Fastlane, held at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio on free 11/18, and man, it was... here's my thoughts. Won't even start with the six-man tag just because it was Dillinger and the Fashion Police versus Mojo and... God, I can't even remember who the other two were. Who were the other two? The other two were... oh yeah, Gable and Benjamin. Yeah, that's pretty bad for Gable and Benjamin that they kind of slipped out of the tag team scene, and that's the part where I actually have to look over there to remember if they were in the match or not on the pre-show. But it was a pre-show match, passable on a any Thursday night show on SmackDown, so nothing special there. What I do want to talk about is that opener. God, that's up there with my match of the year candidates between Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev with Aiden English at the ring. You had two incredibly over acts with the crowd. Nakamura, of course, getting the Duke, but only after, like, they gave him a solid 25 minutes. What a great match, back and forth. Rusev looked strong coming out of this one. Rusev looked amazing. So did Nakamura. So I hope that Rusev is poised for a major singles push out of this, maybe after Mania, as a potential opponent for either Nakamura or Nakamura's opponent at Mania, which we'll get to a little later on. But yeah, great stuff. They did everything that they could. I have it shortlisted as a match of the year candidate just because I enjoyed it so much. Personally, I enjoyed it. What can I say? There's not a whole lot I would have changed in that match. In fact, there's nothing I would have changed in that match. It was awesome. Hell of an opener. The second match on pay-per-view, third match overall, was Randy Orton going for the US title versus Bobby Roode. And yeah, I actually did some back research going into this, and the US title was the one belt prior to tonight that Randy Orton had not held in WWE. And with him winning the US title, that makes him a Grand Slam champion. I guess that's another trivia question. List all the Grand Slam champions. It changes, don't forget, because WWE, with the 2001 joining of the WCW brands and taking some of their titles and that stuff, and it's hard to constitute now what constitutes a Grand Slam champion or not. I guess currently you'd have to take a look. I would imagine Cena's in that list somewhere. Although I'm unsure if he's actually won a tag team title. I think he has in the past. Held a tag team title at some point. He's got to. So Cena's on that list. I think they probably still would list Michaels as a Grand Slam champion as well. Well, Randy Orton's part of that crew now too. And frankly, I don't have a problem with it. It's the US title. Needs some elevation. Looks like we're going to get a triple threat match, I should say, at Mania between Orton, Bobby Roode, and Jinder Mahal. And you know what? It's a good spot for it. Let's see what happens. Hopefully that'll probably be my vote of a match that goes on the pre-show, honestly. That's not any knock of the guys involved. I think it's just a matter of WrestleMania is going to be stacked with multi-man matches out the wazoo. So we'll see what happens, unless they put both battle royals in there, both the men's and women's, this rumored fabulous Moolah battle royal that they're talking about. So I don't know, we'll see. A late edition match, something they booked just to fill time, was the well, don't call them divas, the women's tag team match between Becky Lynch and Becky and Naomi versus Carmella and Natalya. And well, Carmella still has the Money in the Bank briefcase. The hot rumor du jour right now is that she will try to cash it in at WrestleMania and be unsuccessful with it. I, for one, am hoping that she is successful at Mania, just because it could add to a double shock in the main event women's match for the SmackDown women's title, I should say. Well, not main event women's match, but the SmackDown women's title match, I guess. which would be the main event for that division. There we go. But we'll discuss that a little bit later on in this video. How's that? The tag team rivalry was renewed between the Usos and the New Day, and the match ended in a no decision because the Bludgeon Brothers came out and absolutely cleared house. I had no problem with this tonight whatsoever. In fact, I had been waiting for this for quite some time, for the Bludgeon Boys, Bludgeon Brothers, to walk out and just absolutely annihilate the other tag teams involved. It's looking like a multi-team match for Mania. They kayfabe and storyline put out Xavier Woods tonight with an injury, and on top of it all, looked really strong, obviously, with this just cleaning house of the Usos and the New Day. So we have a multi-team match now for Mania. I think it's a free-team SmackDown Live tag team title match of some sort. Maybe they lifted disqualification rule on it, and so it's no DQ. There's going to be a lot of multi-man matches on WrestleMania. It'll be interesting to see if WrestleMania ends up at the very end having more multi-man matches than Wrestle Kingdom had, which I think the count there was like 4 or 5, I'm not sure. But we'll see what happens when the final card is announced. But hey, if you like tag teams and you like a lot of people on a card, I guess WrestleMania is the event for you. The women's title match between Charlotte Flair and Ruby Riott. I hope this is not the end of the Riott Squad push, but it will have to probably be backburnered for a little bit because they're not going to be in that main event spot for the women's title going into Mania. That is reserved for Asuka, who's coming over from Raw to SmackDown and made her intentions known tonight against Charlotte Flair. Now, well, Flair won the match, and right after that, Asuka came out and pretty much challenged Charlotte to a match at WrestleMania. So it's going to happen, Asuka versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title. I, for one, am excited for that one. I think it'll bring down the house. It might be a show stealer. I'm not sure. We will see. Here's my thinking of it. Either way, if you don't want Asuka's streak to end, and the rumors are true, then it's easy. Asuka goes into Mania, defeats Charlotte in a classic encounter, and then immediately right after, Carmella runs out, cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase for a title shot, and ends up getting devoured by Asuka. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Asuka walks out as a champion and can claim that she was successful in 2 WrestleMania matches the same night. I think that might be the way they're trending for that. If you want to really, really put, I guess, a poop in the punch bowl, the sayings apropos here, doesn't matter who wins that big match. But you have Carmella walk out. Let's say Asuka beats Charlotte. Great. Carmella walks out and ends the streak. Somehow through devious ways or something like that. She's the one that ends the streak right after. It would be kind of a Scott Hall-esque Goldberg end to the streak, but it would happen on the biggest stage of the year. And it would definitely get people talking. I, for one, would be for that. That's completely fine, because I think that the first time that the women's Money in the Bank has to be cashed in, especially if they wait for the grandest stage of them all to do it, it might be very advantageous, we'll put it that way, for the Money in the Bank holder to be successful. As it stands right now, it's not looking great. As it stands right now, the rumors, the hot rumor du jour, of course, is, you know, Carmella cashing in at Mania and not being successful, but she's all in on that. So if she is, she's a team player, that's great. She'll still have the first Money in the Bank winner, and don't forget she had to win that thing twice. Go back in my earlier videos to talk about that from last summer. And man, you know, going forward, it's intriguing. WrestleMania is going to be very intriguing this year, but that Asuka Charlotte women's title match is going to be fantastic. Thumbs up for that one. Can't wait to see that one. Then the six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. The desired result was achieved, everybody. We can finally catch our breath and exhale. AJ Styles won. We're going to get the Wrestle Kingdom rematch between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. This is a match that WWE has been planning for and clamoring for, I think, for a couple of years now, since both guys were signed, pretty much, in early part of 16. AJ going up to the main roster, and then Shinsuke going to NXT and having the great matches with, Samoa Joe and, the first match was Sami Zayn and that stuff. A lot of stuff happening in that multi-man match to set up feuds for WrestleMania. It looks like we're going to get a Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon feud of some sort going into WrestleMania. Maybe a tag team match, or maybe it's a handicap match. I'm not sure which, but that's going to be potentially a thing. I don't really see it being a triple threat. I think that they'll either go tag team with a mystery partner for Shane going into this, and he can potentially go the Legends route and maybe bring somebody in that's a legend to help him out during that match. I mean, Goldberg's going into the Hall of Fame. Maybe he contracts him for one night. Who knows? If it's a handicap match, then I could see Shane fighting from behind the entire match, and maybe something happens in that encounter that Kevin and Sami cross wires or something, and there's a misdirection, and Shane would get the win. And if it's a triple threat, then everything's thrown out the window, and we'll see what happens if that splits or what's going on. But the rumor du jour coming into this weekend was Kevin and Sami going one-on-one at Mania. I don't really see that happening now. I think that they're going to work in Shane somehow down the line. Now, unless Shane's the guest referee in this match between Kevin and Sami, I don't know. John Cena without a dance partner for WrestleMania. I think that's going to be decided here shortly. I think somebody's going to step up to the plate. I'm still for one to see him versus Elias and build up the stuff from January, just prior to the Rumble on that stuff. Just because I think there's a natural rivalry that could be exploited on Monday Night Raw between the two. Make it like a Jericho Fandango thing from a few years ago, and have Elias win. Just clean in the middle. I think that would be a fantastic match. I think it would be great. So, yeah, that's pretty much my whole diatribe of thoughts coming out of tonight for Fastlane. So you want a pay-per-view rating out of 10 for this one. Well, hate to say it, folks, but it is less than the Ring of Honor pay-per-view on Friday, obviously. And that's not just the medication I'm taking for the tooth extraction either, talking. I'm going to give Fastlane a 7 out of 10, and a generous 7 out of 10, because there were some dead spots during the show. The women's tag team match being one. The opening six-man, even though that was a free-for-all giveaway match, really didn't do much. In those two matches, you could see any Tuesday night at all. I thought that the U.S. title match itself would be a good television main event, and it didn't really have the same pop, if it would. But everything else I thought was great. I thought like I said, the match of the year candidate, when the first match between Nakamura and Rusev was amazing. Definite, if not 3.5-star match, a 4-star match, 4.5 for me. Just because my standards are not those of, the general wrestling journalists and such, but I just thought it was great. And the main event itself was just chaos unleashed. Definitely worth a watch for sure. The main event and that opening bout between Nakamura and Rusev. So we're on the road officially to WrestleMania. Like I said, I'll be here this year for WrestleMania, back at the home base for Nitromaniac TV. But still looking at getting my eyeballs on a few things during that weekend for sure. Definitely be watching the majority of the WWE stuff. And we'll see what else we can scrounge up and everything. It's always a big weekend, and there's going to be live streams going all over the place from different events. So looking forward to it. Anyways, happy wrestling watching. Later days. I'm Kellen Nitro. See you next time. If you like, comment, subscribe, do all the usual stuff. Stay safe out there. Have fun. Talk to you next time, and later next time.